day to you guys. This is your girl vocal with AJ Reese. I am coming to you hoping that all is well. I pray that this video finds you all well and at peace and in peace. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're at, I want to be able to talk to you guys today. I was just sitting there pondering some things and disturbed kind of all at the same time. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm feeling good, but I'm not feeling good about some things. And one of the things that I want to discuss today with you guys is I know we all can identify as we look around in the news and in the media, in the neighborhoods, the communities, and we see the state and the conditions that things are in. And it's not just one neighborhood, it's just not one area. It is universal, it is everywhere. It is almost like civil unrest that we are experiencing, that we're seeing, that we're hearing. And it is like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? Where are we? And I mean myself included, you all, where are we going wrong? What is up? And I'm telling you, I just was sitting there and the Lord laid on my heart about raising the children. Raising children. We have a responsibility and we are definitely held accountable for raising our children. I want to talk about giving the village permission to raise your children. We talk a real good game, but when it comes down to it, do you really want the village to help you raise your child? It's all good and dandy when you first find out and you doing that gender reveal and y'all popping balloons and stuff is falling, whether it's pink or blue and all that. Then you're sitting there with your fancy baby showers and all that other stuff. Expensive gifts, and oh, didn't our hearts burn? Oh, they did that. Yeah, you may have. You may have. I'm not going to even take that away from you guys. I'm really not. Because guess what? You may have. But it's bigger than that. It's not about the gender reveal. It is not about the baby shower. It is not about the gifts. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. I went to look up, and I already had an idea what it meant, but I just wanted to go back just to confirm my thoughts. Rites of passage. Rites of passage, you know me, I wrote stuff down on there. Okay. Rites of passage, ceremonies that mark transitional moments and periods in a person's life, such as births, puberty, marriage, having children, and death. Usually, usually, we're talking about different ritual activities. That's what rites of passage involve. Different activities. It's like a ritual that marks that distinct moment in that child's life. So it is ritual activities and teachings designed to strip individuals of their former role and prepare them for new roles. There are stages to this. So I'm going to give you what I seen, and it was three distinct stages. One, separation. Leaving the familiar. Separating and leaving the familiar. The thing that you most know, that you're very comfortable with, because this is what you are used to. Two, transition, which is what? A time of testing, learning, and growth. Testing, learning, and growth. Three, the third one, and return. What's involved in that returning? Incorporation and reintegration. I'm going to give you examples of the things that I just named. Baptisms, bar mitzvahs, confirmations, school graduations, weddings, retirements, and funerals. You see that order that it kind of went in? So after the birth, a lot of people like to get their babies baptized. What are you doing by getting them baptized? Number one, you are establishing who the godparents are. They can't just be anybody. It has to have someone that have strong, hardcore beliefs. Number one, in who God is. And I'm not here to, combat people on what they believe, because people believe many different things. So, hey, do your thing. But this is what's going to also help rear that child in the direction of success. And it's going to be failures wrapped up in that package of success. So we can just stop right now with all the journey got it. If you're talking about being successful, your failures are already wrapped up in it. All of ours are. They just are. But you go from the birth, the baptism, or, as the Jewish people, bar mitzvahs for the boys or bat mitzvahs for the girls, which I attended a bat mitzvah, one of my students, my former students, and I'm telling you, I so enjoyed myself. I think I mentioned that to you guys before, but if not, hey. Confirmations, school graduations. So let me go back. Confirmations, I know, like sometimes of the Catholic faith, they do those confirmations for the children. But that is marking all of those things, from the baptisms to the bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, the confirmations. That is all marking a certain timeline that is distinct in this child's life. And you're actually seeing the separation. So they're leaving from one phase of their life going into another phase. Parents, you can't do it by yourself. None of us can. Okay. Then you also see the transition, where it's the time of what? Testing, learning, and growing. That's what we want these children to do. Testing is a part of life. Learning, a part of life. And growing is definitely a part of life. When we don't allow the village to help us properly raise those children, we end up with stagnated, immature, ain't worth a darn to nobody type of child. And I hate to say it like that, but baby, I got to tell the truth. We ruin these children. Because after the school graduation, because after them learning and testing and showing themselves that they are where they need to be, guess what? It's time to move on. To do what? Graduate. So you go from pre-K, kindergarten, then you're in elementary school. Once you're done with that phase of education, it is now time to take that child up a little bit higher. Middle school, junior high, whatever you want to call it. There they will go through more transition because they just separated from the phase where they were previously. Now they're going into a new level of testing, learning, and growing. Yeah. That's where those graduations come in at. And I'm not talking about allowing children to pass and move on, no kid left behind. No, baby. You do yourself and that child a disservice if you're allowing them to move forward and they are not ready. You're doing yourself a lifelong disservice, and you're doing that child a lifelong disservice, because you know daggone well that child doesn't fully have what they need, and it is nothing wrong with allowing them to stay back until they get it and then move on. We allow pride and all that other stuff to get in the way, or what are the people want to say, or I don't want to. I heard something really, really sad, and I'm telling you, like, sad. One of my prayer partners, she she's an educator. She's an educator. And she said one of the saddest things I've seen is seeing parents wanting their child to move forward, even though the child isn't academically ready and prepared, just so they can get a prom. That thing broke my heart. I said, wait, what? She said, they've had parents come up there arguing, whatever, just angry. You're going to move my child forward because my child has a prom that they want, and whatever. I'm just paraphrasing whatever that conversation was. That is one of the saddest things I've ever heard. We are more concerned with dressing the external and fashionable garment and array just to please and accommodate the public when we know way down on the inside it is far from the truth. We are setting these children up for failure. My question becomes, who is the soundboard to bring forth sound reasoning to these goofy parents that are thinking that that's okay? My family will tell you, don't ask me what I think about your child with certain things, and especially education. My kids will tell you I've made them stay up late at night. Oh, you're going to finish this. You're going to get it all done. I don't care if you never like school. You're going to finish. Because I'm holding them accountable. You are accountable to the teacher. You're accountable to the parents. And you're accountable to yourself. And to your peers. You owe it to your peers to want to be better. You want to excel. And unfortunately, we are just seeing. I'm like, God, the village, parents, come on, caregivers, guardians. I know some parents have to work. I get it. But once those school graduations, when we are properly raising and training these kids the way, and I'm not talking about college bound. If that's something they want to do, listen, baby, do it. Do it. I did it, but I did it later on in life. You know, being a young mother and having my kids. But what I'm saying is, the basic education and the tools that are needed, the social skills, the fine motor skills that children need. Children help one another grow. They do. They need that. We rob these kids daily when we allow them to believe you don't have to go to school. You ain't got to do homework. You don't have to study for that test. You don't have to do none of that. You ain't got to listen to the teacher. It is a sad, sad shame. And I'm going to tell you something, as my grandmother would always say, you don't do your job now, you going to cry plenty of nights, boo. And she didn't say boo, that's me adding that, Miss Ma'am and Mr. Sir. You going to cry. That same seed that you sowed is the same one that's going to come back and make the rest of your days a nightmare. And we get so upset. I remember growing up and I was so afraid of my neighbors. So afraid. I didn't want them to catch me cussing or just doing something I ain't had no business doing. I'm going to be honest. I was scared. Because I knew if my mom found out or my stepdad, I was getting, when I say the bricks getting beat off, oh baby. The bricks getting beat off. And I will say some of those beatings, they were very severe. Some of them, I don't even know why I'm still alive. And I'm not being, sarcastic or facetious. I'm not. I'm serious. I mean, they beat us like they were trying to kill us. And that's not what I'm saying to do to your children. That is not. So don't think that's what I'm saying. Discipline come in many forms. But what I'm saying is, we've got to let the village come in and help. And for some, I'm going to tell you something. I was the type of parent that if I left my children with you, I gave you permission to discipline them. I did. Because I knew you weren't out to kill my child or to destroy them or abuse them. So again, I was that parent. Oh, they cut up? You got it. You got it. And I would tell anybody, don't send your child to me if I can't discipline them. I don't have children run my home. I never have. I've always been a hard stickler for order. I do not like stuff out of order. I can't stand it. It irritates me. It irritates me with the parents. It irritates me with the child. And you can't be so mad at the child. You got to go back to the parent. That stuff you think that's so cute when they real little and they hitting you back, smacking you and doing, okay. You think that's cute with you in your household because you're not welcome here. Absolutely not. It's not cute. It's not. It's not. We are raising them for adulthood. They're not going to be infants and toddlers and newborns and teenagers and all that forever. They're not. Some of those kids are going to grow and be way bigger than you are. So what you give a pass and permission to today will dictate what you're going to see with these same individual kids in the future. And as I said, discipline comes in many different forms. It just does. It just does. Giving them everything that they heart desire that they want. No, no. I've been working since I was 14 years old because I just knew it was stuff my mom wasn't. I just knew. In fact, I was a teenager working and I was helping take care of my siblings. I didn't ask for that. But I was. They tell me often how they look at me. They always looked at me as their mother. And I'm like, but I'm not your mother. So sometimes we get things a little twisted. I get parents got to work and do all those other good things, but it is not these children's job to raise your children. And especially when you're pumping them out back to back to back to back and it ain't no daddy. That's the stuff that make me want to change your complexion because that makes no sense. Because now you put all that burden and that pressure on that child to produce something they're not even ready for because they don't know what to do. I can't even begin to tell you how frustrated, depressed, overwhelmed I was with raising siblings. I'm like, what the hell? They not mine. And I was beating them too. I sure was because they was cutting up. I just got to tell you, I didn't play with them. And guess what? And I still don't play with them. And they're grown. I don't play with them. I don't treat them like they're children, but I don't play with them either. There's a certain mark they can go with me. Don't cross that mark. So again, parents, the village. I thank God for my kids' grandparents. Their father's parents. When I say amazing grandparents, amazing. Barbara Jane Barlow and Raymond Barlow, I am giving them their props when I tell you. I could pick that phone up right now. Mr. Ray, can so-and-so, I'll be right there. He got them. When I tell you my kids are extremely close to they are like this. And God rest Miss Barbara's soul. She's gone now. She done transitioned in the Lord. Thank God. But I'm telling you, that woman and that man go the distance for my children. But that's me allowing the village to step in. Everybody don't have that, and that's okay. But God will always give you what you need. He will give you a group of people that truly have a love and a passion for you and your children and will make sure that you all are good. But we've got to let them. We can't, don't nobody put their hands on my kids. Now you got the parents ready to fight along with the kids, ready to fight other adults. And I'm like, what has happened? But I'm going to tell you what has happened because of sin and disobedience. I do what I want, when I want, however I want. And where is it getting you? Because my son and I, we were talking this morning and he said, Mom, I hate to say it. And my son is a dean of a high school. And he said, Mom, I hate to say it, but I got to say it. He said, some of these parents are giving these children a fast ticket straight to hell. And that is the honest to God truth. And you ain't got to like it or take my word for it, but I'm going to tell you something. God is coming back for all of us. And the bottom line is, what are we going to say when he come and ask us, what did we do with what he gave us? And giving us children is a part of what he gave us, a gift. How did you sow and water that seed? Because again, there are some that will water. There are some that will, feed and all that other good stuff. But it is God who gives the increase. what can you really say when you look at how you have allowed your kids to spiral out of control? What are you going to say to God about that? What are you going to say? I can't answer that for you. And I'm not saying that all families are doing this. So I don't want you walking away. She's talking about that. No, that is not it. Bye, have a seat. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So the bigger question becomes, even if you started off on the wrong foot, it is not late to get back on the right track. It's just not. So that's all I have for right now. But it's been on my heart. I am going to continue this on Thursday because it is really just, I'm just like, God, our babies. Our babies are out here killing, robbing, carjacking. What? I thought, I know I had it bad growing up because, you are 10 and a half and you're sexually active by default because you're being raped all the time. I had it bad. I just got to be honest. I had it bad. It is what it is. But what saddens me, and I was very sheltered, I wasn't allowed to do nothing. I had to cook, clean, raise kids, and try to get my education in as best as I knew. And I was depressed. I was totally depressed. I hated my life. You parents got to be careful. So when you raising these Jeffrey Dahmers, these sociopaths, psychopaths, these predators, parents, where are you? I'm calling you out. I'm making you need to be accountable. You need to be accountable. I get you work. That's why there needs to be, and it's no right or wrong answer. It's not. But there are solutions. We need to get back to, I know they still have after school programs. And I know I said I would be done, but getting back to that circle of network of parents where a group of you guys can work together. Hey, I got to work late tonight. Can you keep them till I get off? Whatever. Making sure, all the kids are fed. I ran an entire after school program. Wasn't getting paid like I was running it, but I was running it. When I tell you I was running that after school program, yes, I did. By the time those parents came to get their children from me, after I was done my first job, I was over the after school program. Homework was done because all my students know I don't play it. You won't get it done later. And then you can have your snack and then you had your free time. I had structured order set up. We've got to get back to some of those things. And I'm not saying that they don't have these things already, but it's like, oh, come on, y'all. Juvie system, busting wide open, full of babies. Babies, brains still developing. And they out here living like they 30, 40, 50-year-old adults. They're not. They're not. It breaks my heart and it saddens me. It really does. I'm really going to end. I'm at 23 minutes, y'all. I am. But I'm just so passionate about this thing. I really, really am. And if it stings, just say ouch and go and pray and say, Lord, help me to do better. Help me to do better. This ain't a pointing a finger in judgment and all that. But guess what? If it hurt or it strikes or it's struck or it's stabbing, oh well. I'm not apologizing for it. I'm not. God bless you guys. God bless you. We got work to do. We are behind the 8 ball. We are far behind. We should have never allowed this stuff out here to go down. Never. Never. We shouldn't. We shouldn't have. I'm praying for you guys. Pray for me. Pray for my family. Pray for the children in my family. I want to see them grow, develop, and do well. And I want them to run with the mantle of success. And I'm speaking the same for all of you guys out there. As Hopping in the Budget and always say, Bunny says, this is a positive community, and that's exactly what I'm expecting. So give me some feedback. Give me some feedback. I want to hear from you guys. Talk to me. Talk to your girl Vocal with AJ Reese. Love you guys. God bless you. Lord willing, as I always say, I will see you guys when? On Thursday. Peace.